Yes, I'm back. This is the Woman Agenda channel with Raju. And thank you very much for joining me here. And also, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day so far. If you're a Bollywood buff, if you haven't seen the video, please do go and watch it, guys. Bollywood Central special on a Saturday. The video is there. So do watch it, do check it out. Hope you guys will like it. If you haven't seen it, please do see it, and obviously see the content which we have uploaded. But yes, I did say we would be doing a book show with a co-podcasting partner. That's not happening at the moment with that person because they're busy. However, we are looking to do it to talk about spirituality and other stuff with someone else, with the co-presenters who will actually be hosting it. So that's going to happen soon as well. Looking to expand the channel and get more people on board. So working on that at the moment. If you want to collaborate, if you want to try on the channel, it's easy. Talent Spotlight 309@gmail.com. If you want to be featured, get in touch on the same email address. This is the Marilyn Monroe, the great Hollywood actress special today. Special program. Hope you guys will like this. We talk about her bio and her work, her tragic death, and so much more. And also watch out for the Woman Agenda's weekend edition later on today. And we are hoping tomorrow to bring in a special football show tomorrow, which will happen on a Sunday regular basis. So hopefully that's going to happen tomorrow. Watch out for that. As the Women's Super League is happening tomorrow. There has been some postponements, unfortunately, but majority of that is happening. So, like I said, we're talking about Marilyn Monroe special. Marilyn Monroe, as everyone knows, was a great actor. And let's talk a bit about her bio on Marilyn Monroe exactly, without confirming any age or anything like that. But she was an American actor, model, and singer, famous for playing comedic blonde bombshell characters. She became one of the most popular sex symbols of the 50s and early 60s, and was emblematic of the era's sexual revolution. She was a top-billed actress for only a decade, but her films grossed over 200 million, equivalent to 2 billion in 2020. By the time of her death, and we will talk about it afterwards, she became a major icon of pop culture. In 1999, the American Film Institute ranked her the sixth on the list of the greatest female screen legends from the golden age of Hollywood. She was born and raised in Los Angeles. Monroe spent most of her childhood in foster homes and an orphanage. This is courtesy of en.wikipedia.org. And she did marry at the age of 16. She was working as a factory during World War II when she met photographer for the first motion picture unit and began successful film contacts with the 20th Century Fox and Columbia Pictures. After a series of minor film roles, she signed a new contract with Fox in late 1950. Over the next 2 years, she became a popular actress with roles in several comedies, including As Young as You Feel and Monkey Business. In the dramas Clash by Night, Don't Bother to Knock, she faced a scandal when it was revealed that she had posed for nude photographs prior to becoming a star, but the story did not damage her career. Instead, it resulted in increased interest. 1953, Monroe was one of the most marketable Hollywood stars. She had leading roles in the film noir Negara, which overly relied on a sex appeal, and the comedies Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and How to Marry a Millionaire, which established her star image as a dumb blonde. The same year, the images were used as a centerfold on the cover of Playboy. She played a significant role in the creation and management of a public image throughout her career. But she was disappointed when she was typecast and underpaid by the studio. She was briefly suspended in early 54, refusing a film project, but refused to stand the 7-year Inch, one of the biggest box office successes of her career. When the studio was still reluctant to change Monroe's contract, she founded her own film production company in '54. She dedicated in 1955 to building the company, began studying method acting under Lee Strasberg and Actors Studio. Later that year, Fox awarded her a new contract, which gave her more control and larger salary. Her subsequent critically acclaimed performance in Bus Stop '56 and her first independent production, The Prince and the Showgirl '57. She won a Golden Globe for Best Actress for role in Some Like It Hot '59, a critical and commercial success. Her last completed film was the drama The Misfits '61. She did struggle with addictions and mood disorders. Some of money did not work out, obviously. So Monroe was not told that she had a sister until she was 12. Wow, 12. The US sister and met Bernice for the first time as an adult. Following the divorce, worked as a film negative cutter at Consolidated Films Industries in 1924. She married Martin Edward, but they separated only some months later and divorced in 1928. The identity of Monroe's father is unknown, and she most often used Baker as her surname. So Monroe's early childhood was stable and happy, basically, and so in the next 4 years, Monroe's living situation changed often. For the first 16 months, she continued living with Atkinson and may have been sexually abused during that time. Always a shy girl and developed a stutter and became withdrawn. In the summer of 35, she briefly stayed with Grace and her husband, Erwin Doc Goddard, and the other two families. She then replaced with her relatives and Grace's friends and relatives in Los Angeles and Compton. And the story is very long, but so we won't tell you much about that. But in between 1940, what we'll do is we'll tell you a little bit about her modeling and her first film roles. So basically, between 1944 and 48, modeling and her first film roles. In 44, Dougherty was shipped out to the Pacific, and he would remain there for most of the next 2 years. Monroe moved with her in-laws, began a job at the radio printing company and munitions factory in Van Nuys. In late 1944, she met photographer David Conover, who had been sent by the U.S. Army forces. So she began modeling for Conover and his friends, and she signed a contract with the Blue Book Model Agency as well. So Monroe spent her first 6 months at Fox in learning acting, singing, dancing, and observing the filmmaking process. Her contract was renewed in February '47, and she was given her first film roles. Big parts in Dangerous Years, Scuba Who, Scooby Hair. The film also enrolled her in the Actors Laboratory Theatre and an acting school, teaching the techniques of the group theatre. She later stated that it was my first taste of what real acting in a real drama could be, and I was hooked. Despite her enthusiasm, her teacher thought her too shy and insecure to have a future in acting, and Fox did not renew her contract in August 1947. She returned to modeling while also being occasional odd jobs at film studios, such as working as a dancer behind the scenes to keep the leads on point at musical sets. Monroe was determined to make it as an actress and continued studying at the Actors Lab. She had a small role in the play Glamour Preferred as a Bliss Hader Theatre, but it ended after a couple of performances. She went to producers' offices, befriended gossip columnist Cindy Skolsky, and entertained information mill guys at studio functions. A practice she had begun at Fox. She became a friend, occasional partner for Joseph, who persuaded his friend Harry Coben, head executive of Columbia Pictures, to sign her. She began working with the studio's head drama coach, Natasha Naters, who would remain her mentor until 55. Her only film in the studio was the low-budget film Ladies of the Chorus, 48, in which her first starring role as a chorus girl. When her contract ended at Columbia, she returned to modeling. She shot a commercial for Powers to Be and posed in artistic nudes for John Bogart's calendars. So the next thing we want to talk about, her bio is very long, so obviously we can't get all into that. But the next thing we want to talk about is the tragic death, the full story. So that's what the still is saying, the tragic. So basically means the tragic death, the full story. Exactly, was there anything behind the death? What was the reason? So that's what we want to talk about as well. Courtesy of allthat'sinteresting.com. The tragic full story behind the death of Marilyn Monroe. So how did she die? So initially it was deemed a probable suicide. Questions about a mysterious bruise, lack of evidence, and political motives mounted so heavily that they had to open in the investigation in 1982 to reopen it. She was worldwide glamorous Hollywood star, was not only beautiful, but she was also romantically linked to some of the most admired men of her time. She died only at 36. It shocked the world. Monroe had married the legendary Thingy. She positioned herself as a powerful woman, the men of power needed by their side. But it was her on-screen talent brought her to the profitable table. Monroe's a comedic turn is something like it hot turns standard fare into a timeless classic. She even sang Happy Birthday in front of an awestruck crowd to the President of the United States. So how did she die? So she was untimely made the most famous movie star in the world by the 1950s. Monroe's filmography had already grossed the modern equivalent of $2 billion, like we said. But where there's money, there's also depression, there's drugs, as you guys know. That does happen with acting and other fields. And I'm afraid it happened with her as well. So she was drinking champagne and straight vodka, occasionally popping a pill. I said, Marilyn, the combination of pill and alcohol will kill you. And she said, it hasn't killed me yet. And then she took another drink popped another pill, Jane Baker, a close friend of her, said. Eventually, Monroe's habits began affecting her work. Inability to show up on the set on time, if at all, alongside a failure to remember her lines when she got fired from her last film, Something Got to Give. The actor was the last person to speak to Monroe alive. On the phone, she ended up the last conversation by saying goodbye to Pat, saying goodbye to the president, and saying goodbye to yourself because you're a nice guy. In the early hours of August 62, Monroe's psychiatrist Ralph Greenson and personal physician Dr. Hyman Engelsberg were summoned to the actress's bungalow. So it's Monroe's longtime housekeeper, Eunice Murray, who made the panic call to the Stars doctors after waking up at 3 a.m. finding the light still on Monroe's bedroom. She knocked to check if things was all right, but locked her door, and no response caused her concern. Greenson managed to reach his client by breaking through the bedroom window. He found Monroe naked in bed, a telephone crushed tightly in her hand. The psychiatrist understood rather quickly that everyone needed to face facts. He cameraed her and on the other side of the door. She appeared to be dead, Greenson said. So basically, how did she die? It showed obviously there was high levels of chlorine hydrate when she had died, likely from sleeping pills on the barbiturate and butyl. Nevertheless, the coroner deemed Monroe's death as a probable suicide. In the official death certificate, he concluded the levels of the chloride hydrate were so high that the sleeping pills must have been ingested within a very short time. So basically, So that's basically it for Marilyn Monroe special. It isn't a very, very long version of it. It's a special, so it's a smaller version. Hope you guys liked it. It's hard to go through all of it because Monroe's portfolio work, like some great Bollywood actresses, she was a great Hollywood actor. So it's hard to go through all her portfolio work and exactly what she did. So it's just trying to basically go through some of the work and her tragic death, basically. And we will obviously confirm and do another, hopefully, special and more about Marilyn Monroe later on in the year. Hope you guys liked it. The weekend edition of this Woman Agenda show is coming up later on. Hopefully, yeah, later on today. That's going to be up today. Tomorrow, obviously, there will be some more different specials tomorrow. Some of the first episode, which I've already done. Just give you a little hint what it could be. And lots of other stuff coming up. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to get in touch with us on our social media channels, this is the way to do it. Like I said, you can get in touch if you want to advertise, collaborate with us, get in touch on our email address down there below, scrolling across. And if you want to be a live guest, you want to be featured, get in touch with the same email address as well, like everyone else. Thank you very much for watching. I will leave you with our still of thank you for watching, and I will see you on the weekend woman agenda special show later today. Enjoy your Saturday. Hope it goes well. Stay safe, and I'll see you later.